Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Health Minister defends increased funding for Cornwall Regional Hospital. PNP caucus rejects Portmore parish bill. And later in sports, Cavalier loses to Inter Miami in CONCACAF Champions Cup. Now the details. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is defending more money being pumped into the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Dr. Tufton blames previous administration for the volume of work that needs to be done. Dwayne Anderson reports.
This year's budget has refocused attention on the Cornwall Regional Hospital. The facility has been allocated another $5 billion. The money will be used to take the redevelopment of the facility to 90% in the next 12 months. It is a project that is approaching its 8th year, 8 very long and expensive years. In fact, while speaking in Portland Sunday, the opposition leader Mark Golding said it is unacceptable that all these years later, no one has lost their job for the missed timelines and additions to the repair bill. But Dr. Christopher Tufton put the issue down to the failings of successive governments.
Cornwall Regional is a catastrophe that should not have happened if we did routine maintenance. And governments over the years have gotten more in the habit of building infrastructure and wait till it breaks down before they fix it, not in routinely maintaining it to get the useful life and efficiency out of it. New leadership must put in place preventative maintenance.
And speaking of preventative measures, the health minister feels if some healthcare workers improved their customer service, they would prevent the trauma relatives of patients are left with when tragedy strikes at hospitals.
I would like to see us move leadership in a direction where we focus more heavily on caring with compassion, focus more carefully and directly on providing a better customer experience, even if we have to give bad news, because that's the nature of our business. But that bad news must come with a level of empathy and understanding.
As it relates to the ongoing shortage of some healthcare specialists, Dr. Tufton explained different measures will now have to be considered.
We need more doctors in certain specialized areas. We need more nurses in certain specialized areas. We can't train them fast enough. And there is a protocol around training. What I like about the team is that the team is saying, listen, it is time, in keeping with this recent thrust of government policy, to embrace cross-border training, partnerships and collaboration, and where possible, joint certification, where necessary, flexi contracts for persons who work in different settings.
The health minister was speaking at UTEC on Tuesday at the graduation ceremony for the 3rd cohort of healthcare leaders trained as part of a MOU between UTEC and the government in 2021. Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
The PNP caucus of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation has voted to reject the bill to make Portmore the 15th parish. Karen Sims reports.
All 20 PNP councillors present at Thursday's General Council meeting of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation voted to reject the bill to make Portmore the 15th parish, while 17 JLP councillors supported it. The matter was put to a vote by Chairman of the Corporation, Norman Scott.
When the Portmore city municipality status was being given, we at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation had to vote to accord such charter. And so I know that while some people may think that it is of no more than academic reasoning, it is very important because it is a municipality, St. Catherine, that granted the Portmore, its city municipality.
The vote comes following numerous arguments by PNP councillors that residents of Portmore should be allowed to participate in the decision to make the municipality a parish. Mr. Scott also highlighted the Electoral Commission of Jamaica's letter to Parliament, noting that the proposed Portmore parish boundary may negatively affect a provision of the Constitution.
Already you see the various entities, ECJ and others have said that it is trying to create a constitutional crisis. Apparently the government doesn't care about the Constitution.
The bill was recently passed by both houses of Parliament. In the meantime, Mr. Scott says he awaits the approval of the Governor-General.
We are awaiting to take it to the court. As soon as it is signed by the Governor-General, we will now place an injunction against it.
Kerry-Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
Residents in Old Harbour Base in Catherine are upset about an alleged police fatal shooting Friday morning. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is also probing the incident. Christopher Scott reports.
A resident of the settlement community in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, reported hearing a commotion followed by gunshots around 4 o'clock Friday morning. TVJ News understands that the police were on an operation in the area. The death is still unclear, but residents say after the gunshots subsided, the body of Jamar Fothergill, also known as Zaga, was found dead.
Me hear a fence that tear down. So I jump off on my bed and I crack a window and look, I be a police. Zin? So I pull my window and I say, oh, no one know. They no pay me no mind, they run go down my back. So I pull my door and come on me, bam, bam, bam. I mean, my grandmother ball out. My grandmother ball out. I run ground there and one police say, girl, turn back. I say, I go attend to my grandmother now. And yesterday I can't go a doctor in pressure eye, please. And they say, no, I'm here, bow again. And then I hear nothing more after. You see me? The man says, Zaga shoot off of them. Oh, a man to shoot off of them and a man asleep.
Residents claim that these cameras that were allegedly removed by the police would have provided crucial footage to assist investigators in determining the circumstances surrounding the murder.
2 cameras up on the house, and the camera up on the house for people safety, people protection, and the police them gain access and come do a gunman job. Police them come do a gunman job, you know, because if you come to the house and get a chance to speak to him, whenever hand him in, we chew him down on the bed and shoot him on the bed. In government give them body camera right now. So why is it all the time them are do them shooting? There's not a body camera any given moment. Them always shoot people. I mean I understand. I say police them skillful. That's not time I shoot out a police ever get a glaze much as a shot.
Meanwhile, Councillor for the Old Harbour South Division, Dr. Kurt Wall, is expressing concerns about the actions of the police.
You know, this is the 8th young man that has been killed in this community since the start of the year. 5 by gunmen, 3 by the police. You know, both set of incidences are very, very bad. You know, but in the case of the police, it's worse because, you know, the police cannot be seemingly be operating similarly to the gunmen. And that is what the citizens are saying, that the 3 killings by the police were not justified, right? They were unprovoked. That's what the citizens are saying this morning. And everybody is up in arms with what has occurred this morning. You know, I don't believe me. I'm at a loss for words, really.
Christopher Scott, TVJ News.
Tributes have been pouring in for veteran business news broadcaster Owen James, who died recently. Mr. James is being remembered for his excellence in business reporting. Owen James, a household name and iconic figure in Jamaican journalism, leaves behind a legacy of excellence and professionalism. His storied career, spanning decades, was marked by an in-depth knowledge, impeccable delivery, and an authoritative voice that earned him a reputation as a master of his craft. His illustrious career began at the Gleaner Company, where he honed his skills as a reporter before rising to become editor of The Star. He was also director of radio news at the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, JBC. He then ventured into independent news broadcasting, establishing his own company, creating programs like The Business Day, On a Personal Note, and The Owen James Report. He was also very instrumental in the development of news features on TVJ, like A Ray of Hope.
Owen James was a good guy. I remember when he was at JBC, and he used to work at JBC, he used to work at cleaner company and stuff, and he also loved his racer. That is his favorite sports. He was always a person who I can talk to about just about anything, especially when it comes to business day and stuff, and how to invest money. Because he was a guy who always said, hey, you have to know how to invest your money, to make money. So I will always remember him for that. That man was a really nice fellow.
You see, we other advice as well. Life advice, women advice. So remember OJ fondly, man. Big, massive, giant of a man. But he have a cool personality. Always pat you on your shoulders and say, come here, youngster, and kind of tell you something softly. So rest in peace, OJ. A real general of the business, man. And it was early days, so we have a special memory of him, Owen James, OJ.
Meanwhile, the Press Association of Jamaica, PAJ, in paying tribute to Mr. James, remembers him as a pioneer in business journalism. The PAJ says his legacy as a mentor, innovator, and advocate for quality journalism will continue to inspire future generations of media professionals in Jamaica and beyond. May his soul rest in peace. It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. A desperate search is now on for a Maggotty High student. The teen has gone missing from about 2 months now. The authorities are also probing a social media connection.
16-year-old Toya Simpson from Cameron Hill in Maggotty, St. Elizabeth has not been seen or heard from since January 14, 2025. Toya is of dark complexion, slim-built, and about 5 feet tall. The family is growing increasingly frustrated and concerned as time passes.
I called at home, she was not there, and I also, when I went home, maybe after 7, somewhere thereabout, she was not home. I asked, no, she was not at school day, she was home. When I asked if anyone seen her, they said they saw her in the day. Another person, a neighbor of mine, said they had seen her in the afternoon, and that's the last person phone she would have used to make the contact to a TikTok page that she have always been corresponding with.
According to Toya's mother, the teenager had been communicating with an individual on social media.
I did not try to contact that TikTok number. Reason being, I noticed that person have used several of numbers. He also is a person who lured children, not just my child, but other children. And to follow him. And his page also, he used different numbers on WhatsApp. He operate under different person's name and Instagram, TikTok, and other account. However, he's a person who lured children and manipulate them, and then he would then blackmail them on the media.
Toya's father described her as a quiet person and expressed deep worry about her disappearance.
She called me and said, "Daddy, I want her money." I mean, if you never figure out today, she said, "All right, Daddy." You understand? And her next sister now, we go to the same school, we give her a little thing and so. Yeah, a quiet girl. So I don't know how this happened. She quiet. Everybody say the same thing. People live at Cameron, they say the girl quiet. You understand? This coming like a chick thing.
A report has been made to both the Maggotty Police and the Black River Police Station. The police confirmed that they're aware of the situation and have been actively investigating the case. However, to date, there have been no significant developments in the investigation. The Maggotty and Black River communities are also on alert, with residents keeping an eye out for any signs of Toya. Additionally of concern, since the start of the year, 3 female students from the Maggotty High School have gone missing. Toya's family is calling for any help or information that could lead to her safe return. If you know Toya Simpson's whereabouts, you can call her father at 876-779-1011 1815, the Maggotty Police Station at 876-963-9680, 119, or the nearest police station. Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
Central Bank Governor Richard Biles is applauding multilateral institutions for their role in helping to drive Jamaica's economic achievements over the last 15 years. Agencies highlighted by the Central Bank Governor include the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, Center for Latin American Monetary Studies, European Union, Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, and the French Development Agency. Further afield, Tesla says it could be impacted by retaliatory tariffs in response to President Donald Trump's tariff policy. A letter to U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer lays out how it believes a trade war would hurt U.S. manufacturers and Tesla's operations. The company says U.S. trade policy needs to take into account, quote, limitations in the domestic supply chain, end quote. In particular, Tesla notes EVs and lithium-ion batteries, some items it says are hard to source in the U.S. The letter from the Elon Musk-led electric car company is unsigned. It represents a break from Musk, now an ally of President Trump. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Krista Campbell.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines is moving forward with plans to boost tourist arrivals from Europe. The Ministry of Tourism has stated that special focus will be placed on both Western and Eastern Europe. Tourism Minister Carlos James has revealed that the goal is to finalize several air service agents by the second or third quarter of this year to support this initiative. These agreements are anticipated to be signed with governments of the Netherlands, France, and Germany. Further afield, most Americans do not approve of President Donald Trump's approach to the war between Russia and Ukraine. That's according to a new CNN poll conducted by SSRS. The poll found 59% of Americans think it's not too likely or not at all likely that Trump's approach will bring long-term peace. Meanwhile, 41% said it's at least somewhat likely. More broadly, 59% of Americans disapprove of Trump's handling of the U.S. relationship with Russia, and 55% disapprove of his handling of the situation in Ukraine. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Anthony Atkinson.
We take another break. Sports is next.